Hello everyone, welcome to Bhadra IAS online Nagaland civil service preparation. As we are already preparing for the prelims and I have been giving earlier also I have given some questions for prelims preparation. So today we look at the MCQs for prelims exam preparation and we are going to look at the economics subject, some important MCQs for prelims preparation. Okay, question number 1. Which of the following statements are correct in the context of LPG? So when we talk about LPG, we talk about liberalization, privatization and globalization context. So इस context में, in this context, which of the following statements are correct? So if you see, India faced BOP crisis in 1991. LPG policy announced in 1991 abolished compulsory license requirement, right? And FERA, that is the Foreign Exchange Regulation Act 1973, was replaced by Foreign Exchange Management Act FEMA 1999. So which of the following statements are correct? So if you look at here, the answer will be D, all of the above, because in LPG, the liberalization policy, industrial policy of 1991, okay, all these things were announced by the government of India, and therefore the correct answer will be answer D, all of the above. Okay, next question. Which of the following statements are correct in the context of LPG? In 1991 policy, that's when the LPG was announced by the government of India. So in this policy, only 8 industries were reserved for public sector. Okay, so if you look at the LPG, earlier government has reserved almost all the major industries, about 17 industries were reserved for public sector. So here the option is only 8 were reserved for public sector. Currently defense is reserved only for public sector. So is it right or wrong? Third, foreign transactions were classified either as current account transaction or capital account transaction under FEMA 1999. So which of the following statements are correct? So the answer for this would be C. Why? Because defense is now not only reserved for public sector. Defense, we have a private sector, and also FDI is permitted in defense. Okay, so the government has now opened the defense sector for private sector participation. So for our exam preparation, just to be able to be familiar with this. Okay, so these are 2 questions on LPG context. Okay, now let us look at the next one. India is a member of which of the following? So we have a various regional groups and bodies for cooperation. So in all these bodies, India is a member of which of the bodies? Okay, so the first option is Mercosur. So definitely India is not a member of Mercosur. Why? Mercosur is in South America and we have nothing to do with the Mercosur trade bloc, right? Second one is ASEAN. India is not a member of ASEAN group, but India has free trade with ASEAN group. Some countries India has a free trade agreement, but India is not a member of ASEAN. So therefore definitely if you look at this, option 1 will not apply, option 2 also will not apply. East Asia Summit, yes, India is a member of East Asia Summit. There are about 18 countries. India is also one of the members of this. So this will be correct. BIMSTEC, yes, India is one of the members of BIMSTEC. So the correct answer will be 3 and 4. So answer will be D. So the correct answer is D. Okay, now this kind of topic you might get in prelims, therefore it is better that we have to be familiar with this. Next one, kind of a current affair topic, we can say, who is the current president of the New Development Bank, or what we call the BRICS Bank? Okay, so the options are Dilma Rousseff, Jim Yong Kim, Christine Lagarde, या Sung Kun Lee. So the correct answer would be Dilma Rousseff. Dilma Rousseff is from Brazil. She is a Brazilian. She was the former president of the Brazilian Federation. Okay, so now she has taken the job of the president of BRICS, yeah, the New Development Bank. Okay, so this is like a current affair question, just you have to be familiar with this. The next one, the Bretton Woods Conference. So the Bretton Woods Conference, which took place in 1944, it established which institutions in the world? Because this is a very common topic. Exam you can definitely expect this kind of topics to be asked for you. So Bretton Woods Conference led to the formation of which of the following? So the options are WTO, IMF, IBRD. So we have a WTO, IMF, IBRD. Which of them are included? So if you see, when the Bretton Woods Conference took place, they basically wanted to establish two institutions. One is the IMF, second one is IBRD. What do we call this? Otherwise, we call it as a World Bank. So the IMF and the World Bank, these are the two institutions which were established by the Bretton Woods Conference. So the correct answer would be D, that is 2 and 3. The WTO was established when? It was established on 1st January 1995. Okay, therefore there was no question of WTO being established in 1944. The next question, which of the following comes under WTO? Like there are so many agreements under WTO. So which agreement comes under WTO? So the first one, trade related intellectual property rights, trade related investment measures, tax standard treaty, geographical indication. So if you look at this question carefully, in the WTO agreement, we don't have a thing called tax standard treaty, whereas TRIPS agreement is there, TRIMS agreement is there, geographical indication is also protected under the TRIPS agreement. So option 3 is totally wrong. So the correct answer which is coming under the WTO agreement, answer is A. Only 1, 2 and 4, 3 is wrong. Clear? So now this is all related to the WTO topic. The next question, which of the following statements are correct regarding GI tag? Now GI tag is under the TRIPS agreement of WTO, where we have a TRIPS agreement with a copyright, patent, geographical indication, trademark, service mark, etc. So now if you look at here regarding the GI tag, because nowadays lot of goods from Northeast are also getting GI tag. So for your exam preparation also, it is better that you be familiar with this topic. So normally geographical indications are registered either as a collective or as a certification marks. Basically they are protected for a period of how many years? They are protected for a period of what we can say roughly 10 years. Okay, so that's the geographical indication mark. Okay, then the Department for the Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade is the nodal agency. That means the main agency who is looking after the copyrights and all is the DPIIT. This is also correct. This is also correct. Recently, Wancho wooden craft from Arunachal Pradesh received GI tag, and Chokwa rice of Assam also received GI tag. Answer is D, because all these options are correct. So when you are looking at the current affair with the static topic of GI tag, also we need to look at recently which items received GI tag. Okay, so for the exam prelims, these kind of questions are important to keep in mind for our preparation. Okay, so whatever questions we have discussed today, you go through them and also you study this topic, because these are mostly current affair related topic and also international related topics which are most likely to be asked in prelims kind of exams. Okay, and for any further information or any further query, you can contact Bhadra IAS Online, Nagaland Civil Service at 8638391721. Till then, you keep watching the videos. I will give more MCQs for prelims preparation. Thank you.